In the last video, we completed our keyword research, which will be the basis of our search campaign. Now we're going to take that keyword research that we compiled and then sorted into ad groups, and we're going to put that into our AdWords campaign builder template. This sheet is laid out with the proper headlines and columns so that we can then upload that data into Google Ads. And we're going to do that by utilizing the Google Ads editor. I already have it downloaded. If you do not, a simple search for Google Ads editor will bring up um, a site where you can download. There's a different version for PC and Mac. Download the proper version. Once you have that, I'm going to bring it up. My Google Ads editor. Once you have it, I already have the proper account uploaded, but to do so, you'll go to account, you'll search for the account that you want to upload, and you'll just click and then open. And then that will bring up this window and it will download all of the current campaigns that you have in the platform. We don't currently have any campaigns in here. So now that this is ready, we'll minimize this and we'll focus on the sheet that I have already pre-populated, and I'll walk you through how I do this. So in our keyword research, I have the ad groups that are grouped from all of the different keywords that we identified. And then I also named our campaign based on a standard nomenclature that I'll use across the account, which is our campaign, basically our campaign theme, and then our campaign type, which will be search, and then our objective. In this case, it's leads or registrations. I'm gonna call it leads. So everything we have here will then be the basis of our campaign build. So in campaigns, I copy over the campaign name along with all of the ad groups, and then just drop down the campaign name in everything here so that it is all aligned. And then I go into my keywords copied over from our keyword list. The only thing different here, I have everything grouped and sorted by our ad groups along with the campaign name. And then there's nothing here, just a space there for no reason. And then I include a column here for match type. So the match types in Google Ads references the keyword that you're bidding on and how it compares to the search term that the user is inputting into Google search. It used to be exact match types had to be almost exact to what the user was searching for. And then we used phrase for close match variance, and then broad to widen that window. Now, exact match includes close variance, so it's similar to what phrase used to be. And then phrase is a little more broader, and then broad even more broad. In this case, because we have a criteria to meet a 5% click-through rate, I'm going to start with only using exact and see if we get enough volume for that to be sufficient. If not, I will then test out using phrase match as well, and maybe switch to broad. But for now, we'll just use exact. Fairly recently, we used to use exact match all in their own ad groups, and then phrase match in their own ad groups, and sculpt the traffic to go in the proper way using negative keywords. That is slowly becoming an outdated strategy based on the way machine learning is able to match up to your keywords in a better way. It seems in the ideal world for Google, they're moving toward using broad match and then using machine learning to properly match the correct keyword, so that there's less manual work. All that is to say, for now, we're just going to use exact. We're going to see how that performs, and then we can optimize and change our match types if necessary from there. So we have our campaigns, our ad group, our keyword, and our match type, and this is the format that we will need to upload our keywords into Google Ads Editor. Also, in the keyword research, we identified some keywords that came up that we're going to use as negative keywords. At a campaign level, we're going to use tennis and tennis lessons as an exact match. And that just means if someone has a very broad search for tennis or even tennis lessons, we're going to exclude those searches because that could most likely bring down our click-through rate. So we want to appear for searches that are a little more specific to our targeted, our intended target. And then at an ad group level, I'm going to exclude adults basically for all of these ad groups. I could do that at the campaign level, but we may at a certain point want to target adults with our ad groups because we know, according to the landing page, that this is tennis classes for all. So I don't want to do a blanketed negation of adults. Sorry. So for now, I'm going to do it at the ad group level. If I did do it at the campaign level, I would have to go back and exclude it, or at least remove it if I do choose to add adults. And I might forget that and then not understand why my adult keywords are not getting any impression volume. So for now, I'm gonna put it at the ad group level. Um, so that gets transferred into my negative keyword section. Here we have what will be uploaded at the campaign level. And then, like I said, at the ad group level, for every ad group, I have the adult term with the phrase match. And then the keywords down here. So the way that we're setting up these ad groups, the basis of our search terms is around variations of the term tennis lessons with a modifier on the beginning of child, teen, or youth, and then a modifier on the end. Either we're including near me or we're not. In order to guide the traffic to either the search terms with the modifier of near me or not, I'm going to exclude the phrase near me from all of the ad groups that do not include near me terms. And basically, this is called sculpting traffic. So near me is going to show more intent and therefore will most likely have higher click-through rates with less high, probably lower click-through rates for the terms that are not indicating a specific area. Um, so for that reason, we're going to separate out the key terms because there's probably going to be a difference in performance. And by being more specific, we can there be we can exact more closely to the search term. We can be a little more relevant. The click-through rate may be higher. All of that performance will then bring down our cost per click potentially. So that's why we do that. This is a very simple example of that. If you're getting more specific in building out keywords that are even longer tail phrases, this might get more complicated, but this is a very simple example of us using negative keywords to sculpt your traffic. And then we have a section for responsive search ads. So all ads in Google Ads now are responsive search ads. This was new maybe 5 years ago. Prior to that, the terms or the headlines and descriptions in the ads were a little more static. Now it's very dynamic. So the ad is made up of headlines and descriptions. Typically, in a search ad that you will see on Google, you will see probably two headlines and one description. You can see up to three headlines and two descriptions. So here we're giving Google a bunch of examples to use in different combinations. So Google is going to use machine learning after it's collected data to figure out the best combination of all of these headlines and serve that to users. We also have the ability to pin these headlines into specific locations, meaning the first headline or the second headline. And this can just help things make a little more sense when they appear as an ad. So, for example, in the third headline, typically in a third headline, I like to put a call to action or a brand name. In this case, we have a brand name. If that appeared on its own, it might not make a lot of sense if there's not a lot of brand recognition to the user. Therefore, I don't want it appearing in the first spot. So that's why in this sheet I have these drop downs to select the headline position. So each ad group in the campaign will have its own headline. In this case, the only thing that is different in all of these ads is the first headline. In the first headline, I want to match to the phrase that the user is searching for, kind of as exactly as possible. I search for this thing, I see the first headline come up, it matches exactly what I'm searching for. Therefore, I'm likely to click on it. We can go a little farther if we decide to optimize in a way where we change every ad to be more specific to each ad group. But in this instance, I'm going to use basically a standard ad for everything across the board and only change the first headline. This could give us room for optimization down the road if we want to get a little more specific in all the ads. So like I said, first headline is typically matching the keyword or the search phrase as closely as possible. In the second headline, I like to put a feature or benefit or an offer. And then in the third is a brand name or a call to action. We can include, I think, up to 10 headlines in a responsive search ad. So here I've written out a few examples, 7 examples exactly, and pin them into different locations based on whether they are a call to action or a feature, benefit, or offer. And these are just terms that I'm getting directly from the landing page. I'm kind of scanning this and looking for phrases or terms that stand out. And then I take them to my sheet. And we have character limits. For headlines, it's 30. For descriptions, it's 90. If I plug something in and say it's 45 characters long, I'll just play with it until I can condense it down into 30 characters so that it makes sense, it's punchy, and it's click worthy. Same thing with the descriptions. Typically in the first description, I like to just expand on and explain what the offer is, making sure that I'm using the search terms in the description so that we're matching closely to the term and therefore receiving a proper, a high ad rank and getting high click-through rates. Same thing here, you can pin to first description or second description. Google is going to suggest that you don't pin any of these. It can help drive higher click-through rates if you know specifically that you want one phrase to be the first description and one to be the second description. A lot of ads are only going to show one of these descriptions at a time. In this case, all of these descriptions are basically a variation of kind of the same idea, and they can all stand on their own. So I'm not going to pin any of them. And then the final section here is for path. So this will show your URL as somebody looks in the ad. So maybe if we see an example here, I'm going to search for tennis lessons near me. So in the ad, for example, right here, we see lcfcountryclub.com and then tennis and membership. So the tennis is path 1, membership is path 2. This helps take up a little bit of real estate and also can help give a little bit more relevance to the search term, maybe help the user know what they are clicking on. This is a good thing to test. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Like I would say this URL seems a little long and wordy. You could probably just drop both of these paths and it would perform just as well and maybe even better. Maybe not, something to test out. But when setting up the campaign, we have the possibility to include these. So I'm going to, and our URL being something like, it's lovesetmatch, I believe, .org. Yeah, lovesetmatch.org. So in this example, this is our landing page. This is where we put our final URL, comes directly from this landing page. It does already include free tennis lessons in the URL. However, we're only going to see in the ad the domain. So it will say lovesetmatch.org. With these two paths included, it will then show /tennis/lessons. So we'll match closely to what the original URL is. All that is a wordy way to say this can sometimes help with your ad rank and your click-through rates. Sometimes it doesn't. So just something to play around with. And typically I include if it makes sense from the beginning. So now that we have all of this, we can then copy this in its current form and upload it into Google Ads Editor. So I'll try to do a split screen here to show how that is done. So we'll start with the keywords. Like I said, keywords are the basis of all of our campaigns. So we'll go into Google Ads Editor. We're in the proper account. I'm going to go down to keywords. And then I'm going to click on make multiple changes. We can either select use selected destinations. If we have different campaigns and ad groups, we can click on those and then add into those campaigns or ad groups. For this specific instance, we're going to leave it checked for my data includes columns for campaigns and or ad groups, because we do in fact have data here for campaign and ad groups. And then I am going to copy everything we have here, and I'm going to paste it into this section. So you see my column name transfers over here because it's properly set up for this purpose exactly. And then a little bit of a different naming. Instead of match type, it says criterion type, but Google understands what we meant by match type. So therefore it's all included here. So everything looks good. Copied this in correctly. We're gonna go ahead and process. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. All of our keywords uploaded, our 15 ad groups uploaded, and because there wasn't a campaign that we were uploading into previously, it recognized the campaign name as a new campaign, and now we have a new campaign created. So our campaign is created, our ad groups are created, and our keyword is created. So we're going to finish in review. And from here, Everything is highlighted, giving us a chance to review. I'm going to go ahead and click keep. I think everything looks good. And then we can see an exclamation point here in the campaign section. And that is because we don't have a budget included and a couple other factors that are not updated. So a good rule of thumb for your campaign on a daily basis, it's your total monthly campaign divided by 30.25 days, the average number of days in a month. So we're at $330 for this daily budget. That's going to be our average daily. So in the past, we bid on keywords manually. That's kind of an outdated practice because of smart bidding. So for this, I'm just going to put maximize clicks with no CPC bid limit. If you know that you have a bid limit based on your budget and your conversion rate, you can include that. For now, just to get enough data, I'm not going to restrict anything here. I'm going to start off with maximize clicks. As the campaign progresses and I get enough clicks, typically that's, or actually if my clicks lead to enough conversions, if I have 15 conversions in the span of 14 days, I'm then going to switch over to maximize conversions. And then once I get a benchmark for my cost per conversion, I'll then switch to putting a maximum cost per conversion. For now, everything will be set to maximize clicks. Our campaign type is search. Here we can see search partners are enabled. This is outside of the Google homepage and the Google search interface. Other partners that use Google as